up, fam? Welcome to a very special episode of Gallivant Grow Glow. Today it's just me with you. Giran's busy, but this story is my story to share anyway. Unlike our usual vlog style, today I'm going to be telling you a travel terror tale. And this is one that you will not see on a vlog because it took place in a nude spa where there was no filming. So you will not see this in vlog form. I just get to tell you about it and how I almost died in a nude sauna in Germany. I have been waiting to tell this story because it is so hilarious post facto. In the moment, not so much. Now it's a hilarious tale to tell since I survived it. So let me take you back 2 months ago when we were backpacking Germany. So if you've been following along our videos, you know that we just spent the entire summer backpacking Europe for the second time. And we spent the first month in Germany with V's youngest brother, Dario. We were seeing the Euro Cup, following Croatia, rented a car, doing the whole thing. We had so much fun. And by the way, most of that, a lot of the things that I'm going to touch on, like working up to how I almost died in a nude spa in sauna, most of those like little tidbits of intro stories are already out on video on our YouTube. So definitely check them out. We had so much fun. We had such a blast. But okay, fast forward. So Dario has like spent the first month with us. We drive back to Frankfurt so he can fly back to St. Pete. We return the car. So now we are just train and bus public transport going forward. We at this point have a week between Frankfurt and having spent a month traveling with Dario, a week between that and going to the Netherlands to see my family, followed by Belgium to see more of my family, and then flying from Antwerp, Belgium after Tomorrowland, which again, an incredible experience that we did. Flying from there to Croatia, where we stayed with V's family, and then also in Bosnia. So we really just had this 1 week between family and more family, which is so fun. And we're so blessed to have so much family all over the world and had incredible experiences with them and seeing them and reconnecting with family members that we haven't seen in so long. So like no complaints there, but still, this is like our backpacking trip and we need some romance time. We need some husband and wife time. We need to chill. We need to decompress. So we have this 1 week and we're like, okay, what's near Frankfurt? What's not too far? What's like a couple hours via train? I don't want to be a big city. I want to be in the countryside. I want to be in a nice atmosphere where we can walk around and see nature and just like sleep in and not have to do anything. So I'm not looking for a tourist spot at this point. I had read about the Rhine River and like how gorgeous it is, and it goes through wine country in Germany and has all of these like medieval ruins all along on the cliff sides, like Renaissance era. You feel like you're a princess just seeing them. And so we find this little city called Mainz. Everyone's recommending Mainz. And I had gone to Facebook to a couple of like traveling Europe type groups that I'm a part of and been like, okay, I have, these are my requirements that I'm looking for, blah, 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 the things that I just said. Where should I go? And so Mainz was a repeating theme. So we ended up going to Mainz and actually staying outside of it, like in a little country town suburb called Galbischof, where we were like literally at the base of these vineyards and every morning would wake up and travel through the vineyards. It was just so beautiful, and everything we were looking for was romantic. It was relaxing. And so we did want to do like a couple of activities. We had 5 days. Like for the most part, I'm like, I want to have to literally do nothing. But if it's an activity that aligns with that like chill vacay vibe we're going for, then let's go for it. And I had read about these natural spring thermal baths called Thermalbads in Germany that were right on the other side of the Rhine. So you have Mainz here, Rhine River, and then Wiesbaden, which is where these thermal baths are. A little bit on the history. They were first like discovered and started to be used and curated as like public bathing spaces back in the Roman Empire, when it was a place where the Roman soldiers would chill. They would like relax and rest in between wherever they were going and recover. So, you know, course, hundreds of years later, they were turned into public baths that had nothing to do with war. And now people enjoy them today. So there's two main ones. And the one that I really wanted to go to was closed. And it's an adults only, really in the Roman style. So like those beautiful mosaics, the columns, like aesthetically it looked really magical, but it was closed for months at that point. They were doing some kind of work. So there's the other one, Thermal Bod Augmentel, I think it's called. Obviously, I'll write it here for you. But that one's more family friendly. These are not like spas in the States. It's not like just a little office, you go in, you get a massage, you get a facial. Like, no, it's like a YMCA in there. Like, it is big. You have this massive indoor pool, and they have some similar ones. Like Korean spas are kind of similar. Maybe you know about Turkish baths. But yeah, so this is a family friendly one, kind of. So we're getting into the crust of the location, of the story, of the thing, of the event where I almost died naked in a sauna. So back to the thermal bod. We get there and we walk in, and it's not very expensive. I forget exactly how much it is, but again, I'll put that here. And so we get the tickets that let us both into the family area and the adults only area that they also had. So the family friendly area is like this giant indoor pool. There's an inside section. You can swim under this little bridge to get outside. There's a waterfall out there. There's all of these different jetted spots for massages, like water massage, hydro massage. And it's cool. There's a little dining area. You can get full meals. There's kids down there, pregnant women, like the whole family's having fun. But we decide that first we're going to go check out the adults only area and see what that's about. But here's the thing, the adults only area is completely nude, so no bathing suits up there. So they tell us, okay, go upstairs to the adults only area, and it's a co-ed locker room. Yeah, so like I've been to some nude spa saunas before, but there were like clothed areas that were co-ed, and then the nude areas were gender divided. This locker room was just everybody out there, do your thing. And so, you know, you're being respectful. And Europeans, I think most of us know this, Europeans are not prude like Americans. They're not as weird about nudity. Like, the naked body is your natural form. There is nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing weird about it. It's not sexualized unless you make it that way. And sexual atmosphere should be intentional. And everything else should just be people enjoying their bodies, and maybe they want to, if they want to go to a nude beach because they want to feel the sun on all of their skin, like that should be a human right. So going into this, like, felt no kind of qualms about being in a nude spa with other nude people. Like, for me, that's not strange. Idealistically, like, the ideology of that is not strange to me. For V, he's not as comfortable with it as I am, but he's a trooper, he's a good sport. He's like, let's go, let's check it out. So we get in there, you change in the locker room. Then there are separate bathrooms where, like, the women shower, the men shower off before you enter the spa. So let me tell you about the spa. It's beautiful, for one. You walk in and it's this massive room with these massive windows, and there you can see there's this balcony outside. It's a cliffside, a hillside, so it's outdoors area. There's grass, there's lawn chairs, pool loungers. There's an outdoor pool that's heated, and this is also Germany in the summer, so it's not hot. And especially this summer, it was not hot. It was very cold. Like, their summer was like our winter here in Florida. So we're looking around. Everyone's just chilling. People have books. For the most part, you do have a towel. So when you're walking around, when people are walking around, they are wrapped in their towel. But when they're sitting on their chairs, they're just living their best life, okay? They're just out there. And I'm kind of like, this is magic and I love this. And so we're kind of like, okay, where do we want to go first? Like, what do we do here? Because there's this upstairs area that you walk into, but you can also look down over the balcony and you see that there's like a whole another floor down there of things that are happening. And there's like this very not deep shallow is the word, a shallow like waiting pool that has these like throne chairs in them with bowls with water jets like for foot massages. And you know, at this point, that's all that I can see. I can tell there's other things happening, but yeah, I'm looking at the floor that I'm on already and I'm like, oh, I want to go outside and I want to get in that pool because it seems like an easy way to kind of ease into it. Like, yeah, you take your towel off, then you submerge yourself, and so you're not just totally out there right off the bat. Give ourselves a little ease into the situation. And yeah, so we do that. We go outside, we go into the pool, and it's lovely, it's warm. There's, you know, a few other people in there. We're definitely amongst the younger crowd in this situation. There's some other people that are like maybe in their late 20s, early 30s, 40s, but for the general population of this experience, it's older people. And because when you get older, you give zero, and that's something to respect and to aspire to. And I will say there is a real beauty in seeing all the different body types, and obviously don't like stare at people, but you're going to see things. And it is nice just to be like, there's wrinkles and there's hair and there's fat and there's all kinds of things happening, and it's just natural. And this is the body that you're given to walk this world in. Like, enjoy it to the most, and don't judge it and don't put it down, and just be grateful that you have it and that you are able to do the things that you are able to do in it. And so, yeah, that's my little rant on that. But after the pool, V goes and finds, like, there's these like greenhouse huts as well that I think are out there for when it's really cold weather and you just don't go outside. They're lawn chairs or lounge chairs, and V goes and finds like a chair in a corner in one of these greenhouses and just like passes out immediately. And I get bored very quickly, and I'm like, no, I want to go around, I want to explore. So I see all these people going into this one sauna that's outside by the pool. And I also see that there's a staff member there, and he's wearing a t-shirt, and he has this like wooden bowl with these 3 ice balls. And he's like ushering people into the sauna, and I'm kind of like, I wonder what's happening there. And so I just kind of go out and I'm like, can I go in? Like, I don't know if this is something you would sign up for. I have no idea. And he's like, yeah, go in. And of course, all the signs are in German. Like, keep in mind, we're in Germany. I don't know what's happening. So I go in and I put myself up on the it's this intimate sauna. There's 2 layers. The second layer goes around and has a balcony, and the coals are in the middle here. And everyone comes in, everyone gets situated, and then the guy who works for the sauna, which I later find out he's called a ritual master, sauna master of rituals, comes in, he puts all his stuff together, he says some things in German. I don't know what's happening. I'm just along for the ride, just here to enjoy myself. And so he puts some oils in the balls, and you know, I'm smelling it. It's eucalyptus. It's really lovely. It's really strong. But one at a time, he puts the balls on, and then he takes out this massive fan. It's like 4 feet wide, and he's just fanning the steam up from the coals with this melting ice with the eucalyptus oil aromas in it. And the room is getting really hot. I mean, with each fan, it gets hotter and hotter. And so he does one, relax, do the other, do the third. And so by the third, like, it's really hot in there. And I have all these rings on, and they are getting hot. And I'm kind of like ready for it to be over, but I'm also like, that was really lovely. And I'm really glad that I happened to stumble upon the moment that they were doing this. And when I leave, I'm like, I'm ready for a cold shower. And they have cold showers right there next to it. So sublime. But I see at that point that there is a plaque next to that sauna door that had times. It was like every half hour. So I think the time was like 11:30. It's 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and a different scent. So the one I was at had eucalyptus. There was like peppermint, there was orange, hibiscus, whatever. Go check on V. He's still asleep. I'm like, let him sleep. And I'm really thirsty at this point. So I go to the bar, I get a big bottle of water, and I'm just kind of wandering around. And I am like, okay, like, let's go see what is happening downstairs. So I go down there, and this is like where all of the saunas are. So upstairs, there was the one that I had just gone into. There was another one next to that. So each sauna is a little bit different. Like, maybe it's a different temperature, maybe it's different materials. Like, there was one room that had crystals. They were There was one that was like more of a steam room than a sauna. So like you couldn't even see, it was just filled with steam. So they're all a little bit different. So I go downstairs, and outside of that waiting pool that I talked about, there's like, it does feel very Roman. And like when you think about like those big, beautiful Roman homes, and they had like the veranda that was surrounded by the buildings of the house. In the middle, they had like that beautiful pool. It's that vibe. But around it, instead of buildings, there's rooms with different saunas. And so I'm like going into different ones. There's like a little hot tub. I chill in there. I check out this sauna. I see the one with the crystals. And then again, I see another sauna with another plaque where they were doing rituals every hour on the hour. So I'm like, okay, I just did that one half an hour ago. And I can see that there's people gathering outside of this one and going in for this next sauna because it's a half hour later, this one's happening. And I'm like, cool, I get to check out another one. So I just go in there, and this one, I can feel it's hotter, and it's packed. Like, I'm like, oh, people must really love this ritual because there's like 30, 40 naked people in this room, and everybody is like next to each other, arm to arm. But I also noticed like, oh, it seems like the first 3 rows are taken, but no one's sitting up on like the 4th, 5th row. So let me just like kind of maneuver my way up there and sit down. Again, I have no idea what's happening. I'm just along for the ride. The sauna master comes in, again, with his 3 balls and some scent. I think this was maybe like orange. I think it was orange. So we're getting to the good part. We're getting to the part where I almost spontaneously combust and die. But like sidetrack. So I had the forethought to like, let me go back to the locker real quick and take off my rings, because they're not meant for saunas. The metal hot, I need to take them off because it doesn't work in a sauna environment. However, I have these nose rings, right? And I can't take them out. If I take them out, they immediately close up. It's happened a million times. I've had them re-pierced like 6 times. But yeah, so I didn't even think about taking them out. Did not cross my mind. But they're there. So they're there. So now we're back in the sauna. And the master comes in with his stuff, and he is giving this like whole spiel in German, right? And I have no idea what's happening. I'm just like, yeah. Okay, I mean, everyone looks chill, everyone looks relaxed, like no red flags, no alarm bells going off for me. I think that looking back, the sauna master definitely, I think, was giving some kind of warning. Like the tone he was using was like kind of like a, are you sure you want to do this kind of thing? Anyway, it was in German, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just looking around and being like, there's a lot of people in here, like, must be cool. So let's go. Let's do this. All right. So he closes the door and he puts the first ball on, and he starts to wave this giant 4-foot fan. You gotta remember, we're all butt naked. I am up there. I am on like the 4th row, I think. There's 3 rows under me of fully naked people, arm to arm. It's packed. I'm sitting on my towel at this point. I'm not wearing it. No one's wearing them. They're just sitting on their towels. And he starts the fanning. And I'm feeling a little rough. I'm feeling a little rough. It is hot. It is so hot. And I am looking around me and I'm like, okay, like these people seem okay. And I mean, there's like some very old people in this room and everyone seems like they're doing okay. I'm like, it's just 3 balls. It's just 3 balls. Like we've made it through one. You know, it can't get that much hotter. It can't get that much hotter, right? But it's hot and I'm starting to feel like these are burning. My face is burning. My skin is burning. I'm like, it really does feel like 1,000 suns and are on me. Like my skin, I'm like, I might start peeling. Like it's bad. It really, like it's painful and I'm getting a little bit worried and I can barely breathe. But there's still that part of me that's saying everybody else looks okay. And there's only 3 balls and you already made it through one. And so this one's also, this sauna master's going slower. Like I feel like the first sauna, it was pretty rapid, like the 1 ball, the fan, the 2nd ball, the fan, the 3rd ball, the fan. This one's like, he's taking his time and he's like preparing for the second one. And he puts the second one on and he starts to flame. And I start to feel like I'm dying. And at this point, like, serious alarm bells are going off in my body and I'm looking around and I'm still like, I don't understand why everyone else is okay or how everyone else is okay, but I don't think that I'm going to be okay. Like, I really don't think that I'm going to be okay. And if I stay in here, that is purely out of ego and pride and spite, and I might die here. And so yeah, and this is all happening very quickly in my brain, and just there's a point where it's just like, no, you have to get out. I have to get out. If I'm like, I have to get out. Survival mode, out. And so I stand up in this room of naked people, and I have zero left to give, because in my mind and in my body, it is stay and die or leave by any means possible. And so I grab my towel, but there's no time to put it around me. And I am just hopping, like trying to nudge people, because there's rows beneath me of people naked. And I'm just like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And it was going really fast. And I really could have hurt myself. Like, I should have left sooner. But I didn't. So here we are. And so I am just butt naked, my towel streaming behind me, running between these people like, excuse me. And the sauna master ritual dude guy is saying something to me, and I'm like, I don't give a f. I don't care if this dude is saying you're not allowed to leave, the doors are locked. I'm out that door. So, I mean, the doors weren't locked, but I don't know what he was saying. Something like, you're not supposed to leave. I don't know, but I'm gone. It's in German anyway. I don't know what you're saying, dude. So I run out and I immediately get in one of the ice cold showers, which again, I don't think is the healthiest thing to do to like go maybe from that drastic of temperatures, but I honestly thought that I was going to pass out and die at this point. So I get out, I do the ice plunge, like they have like a bucket on the wall where you can pull the rope and I get to a point where I finally cool down. I sit down, like I have to sit down for a good, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe, and just kind of like get my heart rate to lower, get my mind to calm, to breathe, like, you know, get back in that place physically and mentally. I'm like, I am safe. I am okay. I am not going to die. And I kind of have this flashback moment where I'm remembering actually what I saw of everyone kind of standing outside of the door before they were going in. And there were ice baths there. And there was like a sign. Again, everything's in German. So I'm like missing these cues because I'm just not noticing details that don't make sense to me anyway. So I remember that I had seen there's a big like ice vat there, and people were putting ice on their skin. They were like icing down. People were going in the ice baths and then going into the sauna. And I didn't think anything of it because I had just hopped like 12 sauna experiences myself. You know, I'm just thinking like, oh, there's people, that's just what they're doing. And then they're doing this and then they're doing that and whatever. But I realized afterwards that I think the warnings that the man was giving, and also like going back and looking at those signs, even though I couldn't read them, I think they were also warnings that you need to cool down your body before entering that sauna. And then I look at the sign on that specific sauna and it says 70 to 90 degrees Celsius, which is almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So when they do the ritual, it takes it up to like 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And I had not cooled my body down at all to prepare for this increase in temperature. And so it really truly is super fucking dangerous. And anyway, I am always getting myself into these little troublesome situations, and I'm always laughing at myself afterwards as long as nobody got hurt, including myself. And so I am just laughing to myself, uncontrollably laughing to myself, because I'm like, what the hell? If I was someone who paid attention to details out in the world, honestly, there's so many times where I'm like, thank God V was with me because I did not see that sign or that red flag or pay any kind of attention to anything happening around me. And so I'm laughing and laughing, and finally I'm like, okay, you gotta pull yourself together. You look crazy. You're the crazy American woman who just ran fleeing butt naked out of a sauna that everyone else was fine in. You just flew out of the room. Then you sat here uncontrollably laughing to yourself. You need to, like, go somewhere else. You need to calm down and go somewhere else. So I go and find V and I tell him the story, and I'm like, oh my God, you will not believe what just happened to me, what I just did. It was so ridiculous. And I'm like, you have to get up. You have to go do a sauna ritual with me. And I'm like, we're not doing that one. We're going to do the first one that I did, which was way chiller and way less hot. And so it's a hilarious story now. But at the time, it was really scary. I was really scared. And I was kind of like, you've gone too far this time. Like, there is a point where being chill is a problem. It's problematic. Like, don't just go with the flow all the time. Maybe do some research. Maybe make sure that you're doing something that you're capable of doing, fully informed. But yeah. So, I didn't die. Clearly, I'm still here. But I did post about it a little bit afterwards, and my Dutch cousin wrote to me and said, oh yeah, oopguiding. Like, there's a name for it. It's called oopguiding. And he was like, yeah, it's really intense, but it's so healthy for you. I'm like, noted. I'll do it better next time. Thank you for watching our channel. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And gallivant everywhere, grow always, and glow up.